Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video, I wanted to talk about something that I noticed with the church magazines. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video if you like it, hit the notification bell, and make sure to leave comments so I can know what you think about this. Um, Basically, I was just, I did end up with some free time tonight. The last video I said that today has just been kind of I don't know, it's taken up a lot of time. I didn't think I'd have time for another video, but here I am. So I was just kind of like looking through some things and I noticed something. So I'm going to focus here on the last couple months of church magazines. I actually went all the way back to the beginning of the year and compared all these different magazines, the Leahona, and then for Strength of Youth and the Friend, because I noticed a little pattern or just some kind of correlation. It looks like that's going on for at least the last couple months. Okay, so we're talking about the September issue and then also the August issue. All right, so um, in the September issue of the Leahona, from what I can see, okay, I've never really looked into it too closely until now, until I started doing my YouTube channel. But essentially, it seems like every single um, issue that comes out, whether it's the Leahona, whether it's for Strength of Youth or the Friend, it seems like there's usually one apostle or member of the First Presidency that does an article in it, and then after that, you just have a bunch of other people. So, like in this one here, the main article, it's by, and I did a video on this one, by the way, if you want to go check that out. But the main article here that's done by an apostle is "Bring Forth Zion" by Elder Garrett W. Gong, right? And then when you look through the rest of these here, you just have a bunch of people that I don't recognize. Probably some of them are 70s or other general authorities, um, or even just other members of the church, because I know sometimes they put in like stories from members and make it an article. So every one of these has um, one apostle or a member of the First Presidency, which of course are also apostles and prophets, and you have one of those per issue, right? So just keep that in mind. So for September, it seems like the theme, and this is what I noticed, is that it seems like for September, um, excuse me, and also August, the theme is synced the theme for the Leahona is synced with for Strength of Youth. And I only looked back for this year, and it seems like the only 2 months that has happened where the theme is the same between both magazines, with the main article from the member from the Quorum of the 12 or the First Presidency. It seems like the only two are this month and last month, where they're both synced up, and they're synced up with a pretty interesting subject matter. For this month, it's Zion, and um, so here, you have his article. It's talking about bringing forth Zion, and then if you go over to for Strength of Youth for September, it is by Elder Jeffrey R. Holland, that we've been talking about a lot lately. There's some more videos I've done about him recently, so I invite you to go check those out. But in this one, he's also talking about seeking Zion and the Lord's blessings. I find it interesting. I find it interesting because you know we're getting late into the year now. It's September, and out of all these issues right here, none of them have synced together with the other magazine except for these two, where on this one you have the main focus, like I said, is Zion, and you have one in Christ on the front here. Um, Down here, it's talking about building Zion, and then for August, you have. So I mean, just look at the covers here. Look at the covers of these two magazines. They both really prominently feature Christ, and of course, that's not too surprising, but I mean, compared to these other ones over here, you know, you have one here where there's Christ, but you know, it's a lot smaller. Like in this one, he takes up the entire frame, essentially, the whole canvas. Here, you know, I'm assuming that this right here is Christ, but over here you have an elderly member and a younger one. So you have two in a row here where the main focus of these images is Christ, and on this one specifically, this is referring to his second coming, and that's why I'm even talking about these 2 months. Is because this is a second coming channel mostly. We watch for church news and also try and follow the signs of the times. And so anyway, so keep that in mind. So this one right here, the focus is bringing forth Zion, and we know that Zion is it's something that we talk about a lot, especially in reference to the second coming, right? And then we have this one here, in the little kind of subtitle here, or this wording here says, "Prepare to meet the Lord," or "Preparing to meet the Lord." So I don't know if they're trying to give us some clues, because I am of the frame of mind that it is coming very soon. And when I say very soon, I'm talking about the quickening event that a lot of us are looking forward to, when essentially the second coming happens for us that are the righteous members of the church, that will become quickened and possibly go to Adam-ondi-Ahman. I'm still kind of fuzzy on some of those details, and I hear different things from different people, and but that's gonna kind of be like the second coming for us, really. And actually, it's already kind of happened, because we know that Christ has appeared, at least in the Salt Lake Temple. He's also appeared in the Kirkland Temple. So, I mean, it's already happening. But for us, for the general membership that are righteous, the 5 wise virgins, this is going to be kind of like our second coming. And I think that it's close, and I think that it feels like things are just ratcheting up. So I'm going to move on here with the video. So for September, Zion. For August, we have the main article is by President Dallin H. Oaks. He's talking about authority, ordinances, and preparation. And in the Strength of Youth, we have Elder Neil L. Anderson, and he is also talking about priesthood, ordinances, and blessings, right? So ordinances, and blessings. And then interestingly, in August, the Friend even synced up. And in the Friend, it's President Russell M. Nelson, and he's talking about the power of priesthood blessing. Now, like I said, I went back for this year, and maybe I'll go back even further in another video, but there isn't a time that I saw from July to January where the main article of each magazine synced up with the other magazine of that month. I hope that I'm clear with what I'm trying to express here. So something different seems to be happening with August and September. August being the month of priesthood and ordinances and blessings. September being the month of building Zion. Now, there's another interesting thing that I noticed, and it's in the footnotes of these articles. So, going back to Elder Gong's article, he references Hope of Israel. That was the worldwide youth devotional that happened in 2018. That's the one where President Nelson called for the Lord's Youth Battalion, if you'll remember that. And I'm going to be honest, when that first happened, I just kind of thought, I didn't think too much about it. I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's just like a metaphor. He wants us to think about the youth, or, you know, a battalion within the army of the Lord. But I think that it actually represented a whole lot more than just that. I think that it was like essentially an official call by President Nelson to the youth to get ready, like we're on deck, as in it's going to happen. This, like, you guys are like the final push before this happens, meaning the second coming. So over here you have, this is the Worldwide Youth Devotional. This took place in June of 2018. And if you'll recall, President Nelson was called, or he became the president of the church January of 2018. So just a few months later, just right after he became president of the church, is when he did this Worldwide Youth Devotional. And I did a video on this as well, and there were a lot of pretty incredible things, I think, going on in that devotional. Go watch that video if you have time, or just watch this for yourself. There's a lot of really interesting things that are said, and in my video I break it down, and it's just wow. This was definitely a special event, just like when we had the General Conference, the 200th anniversary conference of the Restoration. I think that this is on par with that in terms of being kind of like an unprecedented type meeting or devotional. This was a special event, I think. So going back here, so Elder Gong referenced it, okay, in one of his footnotes. In fact, he did it a couple times. Footnote number 2, and then number 6. There was something else that I just saw. Hear him. He looks like he's referencing President Nelson pretty heavily in this. All right. So anyway, moving on. Now over here, now this is so we were just looking at the September Liahona. Now we're looking at the September strength for the strength of youth. In this one, it's Jeffrey R. Holland. And look at this. The one footnote that he put was referencing Hope of Israel. So it seems like maybe behind the scenes, the First Presidency and the Apostles have maybe been talking about this, or like maybe something's about to happen. Maybe in this upcoming General Conference, maybe they're going to be talking about this a lot more. I don't know, but it does seem like there's some kind of coordination going on here. Okay, now this is interesting too. So in this September issue of For Strength of Youth, you have 2 articles that are done by apostles. We had the one that we were just looking at by Jeffrey R. Holland, and then we have this other one called Choices by President Dallin H. Oaks. And again, I went back and I looked at all the magazines for this year, and I haven't seen any where you have 2 apostles in the same issue. Okay, and so that also stuck out, as if the September and August issues don't stick out already. And in this one, well, what do you know? Footnotes 5 and 6 reference the Hope of Israel Worldwide Youth Devotional. So can you see why maybe that wasn't just like a typical devotional? It wasn't just like a feel-good youth devotional. Like, that was like a real event, it would appear. I don't know. I just find that really interesting. All right, so going over here to August, the month before, when we're talking about priesthood and ordinances and blessings, it's Dallin H. Oaks. And what do you know? Footnote number 4, he references Hope of Israel, the Worldwide Youth Devotional. And then for the Strength of Youth of that month, for August, I didn't find any reference to the Hope of Israel, but I did notice that, so this is by Elder Neil L. Anderson. He had down here, he referenced two scriptures, Psalm 46:10, and then Doctrine and Covenants 101, 116. And this is the one where it's be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth. And then Doctrine and Covenants 101:16 is similar, but it adds an interesting element into it. Therefore, let your hearts be comforted concerning Zion, for all flesh is in my hands. Be still and know that I am God. So it probably would have sufficed just to do Psalms 46:10. That's the more popular one that all of Christianity knows. But it seems like he decided to include the Doctrine and Covenants version, or the reference to Psalms 46:10, which talks about Zion, which is the main topic for September. All right, let's see here. And then, yeah, I think that was it right there. So, sorry, I hope I didn't lose you, but I just, at least when you look at this year, 2021, and you look at all the magazines, like I said, none of them sync with the other magazine from that month between Liahona, Friend, and For the Strength of Youth, except for August and September. And August and September are talking heavily about the second coming, about Zion, and about how to prepare. And they also reference heavily that Worldwide Youth Devotional of 2018, talking about the Lord's Youth Battalion and a lot of other interesting things. So take that for, however you want to look at that. Let me know if you have any thoughts about it. I personally find that really interesting. I think that they are trying to send messages to us, to the entire church, to our youth. I don't think that they're kidding around. I really do think that the events of the second coming, like official events, not just, signs like the weather and stuff, no, actual things going on with the church, they are coming up. And it's going to be fascinating to see what they talk about this next conference. So I'll leave it right there. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like it, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more church news videos, watching for the signs of the times, and of course we'll be doing some homesteading videos as well. I'll talk to you later.